My girlfriend dumped me at her dad's Hamptons birthday dinner into a toast because I couldn't afford her. 2 days later, the same people were blowing up my phone after they learned what I actually owned. Everyone filmed it. She didn't text it. She stood, tapped a spoon on her champagne flute, and made 20 people go silent. Then she pointed at me like a lesson. "You're sweet, but you can't afford me," she said, loud enough for her dad's partners to hear. The whole week had been death by paper cuts. They laughed at my cute job in shipping. They called my old Ford embarrassing. Her dad shoved me into a pool house cottage like I was staff while she stayed in the main house, glued to a hedge fund guy in sockless loafers. On the golf course, her dad smirked and said, "No shame in being poor, just don't drag my daughter down." I bit my tongue and tasted blood. I kept wondering why love felt like probation. What they didn't know was simple. I wasn't broke. I'd built a shipping routing algorithm, sold most of it, and kept enough equity to disappear comfortably. I dressed down on purpose because money attracts the worst kind of loyalty. Back at the dinner, her dad tossed a greasy $100 into the butter dish. "Take the train back," he said. My girlfriend leaned back, satisfied. "Pack your things." I didn't argue. I didn't beg. My hands stayed steady. I just texted one person, "Extract me, package alpha, now." Then I poured myself her dad's scotch, the one he warned me not to touch, and waited. First, the crystal glasses trembled. Then the napkins skittered across the table. Next, the wind slammed into the patio umbrellas. After that, a low thump grew into a roar. Then sand and leaves blasted over the lawn. Finally, a matte black helicopter rose over the dunes. It hovered low, brutal, and impossibly close, and the whole white party turned into chaos. The side door slid open, and my security lead leaned out in a vest. I set the empty glass down with a clean clink. "That's my ride," I said, and walked past the frozen faces. The hedge fund guy saw the tail logo and went pale. "That's Apex," he whispered. "That's the shipping algo." I stopped at my girlfriend's chair. "You said I couldn't afford you," I told her. "I spent more on fuel tonight than your dad cleared last year." Then I looked at her dad. "You're underwater. Sell the boat." I climbed in, buckled up, and we lifted off like they were background noise. By the time I landed in Manhattan, the video was everywhere. She went from "What was that?" to "Baby, I'm sorry," in an hour. She even camped outside my Queens address, my decoy place, like guilt could rewrite reality. When that didn't work, she tried to find my office. She followed some old address tied to a shell company and stood outside a UPS store for 3 hours in heels. I finally sent one cold email. "Stop. You ended this publicly." I accepted it publicly. Her dad tried a different script. New numbers, new tone. Suddenly, we were family. The problem was, he'd been begging for a partnership to keep his debt-heavy company alive. I sat on the board of the fund backing the tech firm he needed. One call later, the deal got reconsidered. By Tuesday, he was frantic. I blocked him anyway. Family doesn't buy your silence with butter money. A week later, she sent me a novella of excuses and a $5,000 Venmo request for therapy. I declined it and laughed until my dog side-eyed me. The hedge fund guy bailed too. He didn't want to be attached to the woman who fumbled a lottery ticket in public. The last time I saw them was at a restaurant downtown. They looked smaller, drained. She reached for my hand, and I kept mine in my pockets. Her dad started apologizing. I cut him off. "You didn't treat me like trash because of me," I said. "You treated me like trash because you thought I was poor." She whispered, "I can change." I felt nothing. "You wanted a power player?" I told her. "Go find one. You don't get to backtrack because you found out the placeholder owned the bank." When she hissed, "You owe me," I finally shrugged. "No, you owed me basic respect." A month later, her dad filed for bankruptcy. He even lost a chunk of money because my unauthorized aircraft tore up his perfect lawn. I paid the fine for him. It was worth every penny. I bought the car I'd always wanted, stopped playing small, and started choosing peace faster. So what would you do? Walk away quietly or call the helicopter? Tell me in the comments.